Thought I'd put these glasses on because it makes me look like a newsreader. Well, maybe not. Even though these are sunglasses with see-through lenses. I feel like going. So, on today's news. Joking. But, I was just, something's just not surprised me. I was just like, oh yeah. So, I've just been, watching Independence Day, not the new one, a new one, not the old one, a 2016 it was, and I was like, very interesting what they were saying in it. Also, I was just sat there designing a design for a bag called Uniting One Colour of Love, not dividing. Hi, and I just had to come and report this because I thought this was very interesting. Today, this is what has been reported in the news, and I've just done little bits of it, so I'm not reporting on like every single little thing, but there was two things very interesting. So let me just find where it is. So things are going down. You know when people have been told certain stuff, like when Trump came over and saw the Queen and stuff. Oh yeah. So I've just seen. Let me just find it in my book. There it is. So if I can read what I've wrote down. So we've got. Hi. Well, people find stuff all the time of people's stuff, isn't it? If people can't make their own creations up, they just go around stealing other people's ideas. Just shows you what sort of people they are. Even people who've got stuff, people take people's ideas. Cali gun shooting in a nightclub. They've just reported on that. But we don't know. I believe the guy took his life. I believe the guy took his life, but we don't know what was behind it. But he had, was it smoke bombs on him or whatever you call it, smoke grenades? It was at a borderline bar in Calais. 200 people were there. And was it 10 or 12 people that got shot, killed? Now I'm just putting it out there. Thank you. I'm just putting it out there. They don't know what was behind it yet now. I hope they don't come back and say, are you ready? What do you think they might come back and say? 13 people gunned down at a country western bar and grill. Now, in a Republican area of Calais. Exactly. Are they going to say it was a Trump supporter? Are they going to put up that it was a Trump supporter? I'm just waiting to hear what they're going to say. Or maybe the tables are turned and they're actually going to say it was a Democrat. So, does anyone get what I'm talking about? We'll just see what's going to happen there with that. Also, because when all this stuff drops, I believe there'll probably soon be a Syria gas attack. Russians are looking over there. Just saying. So there was that we know that's being I'm just waiting to see what the news are going to say, because over here they've not said anything yet about what the motive was. And apparently the guy knew what he was doing, because a young girl reported he changed over his rounds, whatever they're called, in 6 seconds. So it was very quick, very, very quick. So just listen out for that, because I'm just wondering, are they going to say it was a Trump support? Because every time something comes out, if you've known, it's like the one with the Tree of Life, which we found out that guy. Oh no, sorry, the pipe bombs, the packaging, that got sent to Soros and blah, blah, blah. They said he was a Trump supporter, but found out he wasn't. He was actually a Democrat. And we all know the story behind that. And he worked at a place where Stormy Daniel was. He was a stripper. And then there was a Tree of Life shooting. So all this stuff's happening in no space of like 4 weeks. So just keep your ears and eyes open on that one, and let's see what comes back with that. So next one. We might save this one to last, actually. I'm going to save that one to last because it's quite fitting with this Sunday. So then apparently a young girl has died from a takeaway because it was containing nuts, even though they'd warned this place. Apparently these have been the people who own this restaurant, whatever it is, a takeaway joint, sorry, everything have been sent down because they got told, and this girl has died. So there needs to be different laws around that, because it's manslaughter. So that's not good, because I'm just reporting on what was just said on the news at dinner time just now. I'm saving that one because this one's really interesting. Also, there was something about Kids' toys. Kids' toys, you know, with the AI thing going on and everything. Kids' toys, um, you know, because there's millions of shit around the world, and trying to teach children, this has been brought up, taught about digital footprint, because obviously some people think that when you've done something ages ago and put it out there, that it disappears when it doesn't. They need to be taught about that. There's certain toys that has all this, like, gathering information in them and this, that and the other, you know, or watching your kids or whatever they were saying out in these toys. But they're also saying it is up to us, the parents, to have a think about this, and they need, you know, a data protection done on this, because it's not just in kids' computers what they're doing online. They're putting all this sort of tech into toys, going after our kids. They had to recall Barbie because it was of a eavesdropping on kids with recording devices. Yes, there's all that we know about the kids, what are they called, like cameras, you know, so you can see them sleeping. People can watch on there, so we know about that, but kids don't. And you know, they're saying there's millions shipped all around the world, so they need to get a data protection on that. So that was very interesting, not surprising anyway. Also, this has just come up. This is good. At least there's a start coming here for our veterans, because, you know, being on Sunday, Remembrance Day of the 100th anniversary of the First World War. I will jump in chat in a minute. I'll just get this out. They're going to be doing the Ministry of Defence. Sorry, the Ministry of Defence, I think that's what it's called. Is it Military of Defence? Are rolling out £10 million, you know, for, you know, schemes to help support the veterans, which so there should be. And they've got one called Horseback UK, which I think is good because it's about animals. You know, because if you're around nature and animals, it can help you with a lot of stuff. Some people might think, oh, that's not, no. Animals and nature helps a lot. For veterans, for helping them with the mental traumas, because there's a lot, obviously, more with mental traumas because of what they've seen and stuff. So it can help them contribute, again, Ministry of Defence, yeah. Horse riding for well-being of traumatized soldiers, which I think that's a good idea, and they need more supporting things coming in for these fantastic veterans all over the world as well. So for relationships with animals to help. So that was just a little snippet on that. So I think that's good for comfort and confidence, etc. So that was good. But the biggest thing I saw, was they just did a little bit on Prince Harry, you know, showing him putting poppies down and all that. That's all good. But the best bit about the royals today, I think they've been told, you know, because when the Queen goes, it's like, you better get in. And when you get in and you're king, you better sort your country out. Prince Charles has just said, this never happens, by the way, has just reported on, he's not going to be campaigning, people seen as meddling. If he becomes king, he was talking about sovereign and all this, that and the other. But the main thing I heard him say when I was sort of listening was, when he becomes king, you know, because it's his destiny, Camilla says, and they reported on the news, this is highly unusual. He never talks about his ideas of when he's in the monarchy, talking about being king and becoming the monarch. When the passing of his mother, it says, he won't be not a campaigning monarch. He's going to do the job of the king. He's going to do it differently this time. So, my ears pricked up then because I thought he's going to do it differently. Maybe he's been told when Trump came over, you know, they're going to find out this, that and the other because we've got this, that and the other, and we've got all this information. So when you come in to be king, you need to do it differently. If you want the people, you know, to be not kicking off and all that, you need to do it differently. That's what I was seeing. I was like, oh, because they said, this is highly unusual. This does not normally happen. He does not normally talk about this stuff, but he's talking about it now, and they said it'd probably just be once that he does it, like he's just said it now, and then you probably won't hear him say it again. So he's thinking about when he becomes monarch, he's going to do the job of king differently. Well, that's good, because a difference needs to change, and that's why I'm saying I'm not really interested in the monarchy and things that we've heard they've done and this, that and the other, but if they can swing it around for next generations to come and to come and to come, that's brilliant, because he sat there and out of his mouth, not King Charles, not King yet, sorry, Charles said, I do think a lot about my grandchildren, and I do think a lot about yours. So I do think a lot about that, you know, the future. So I thought, Hey up. Oh yeah. Mentioning this now, are we? Things are starting to sort of change in different areas. That's what I could see. I was like, that's interesting. I think I need to report on that because we don't normally hear him saying that sort of thing. So, leopards can't change the spots, some people say, but hey, come on. It's time. So that's what I was just thinking anyway. I just thought, well, let's have a change for the better because there is a change coming. Like I said, there's a change coming. So I just thought that was quite interesting. I'm trying to remember if they said anything else. I think it was just them little snippets because I just thought I'll just watch while I'm drawing out my designs and doing something on my other bag, which I just thought I'd have a test before I wait for it to dry. Well, it's dried, but I've got to wait 48 hours. I just thought I'll just switch it on and I'll just see what they're saying, seeing if they said anything about the Trump. They haven't, because if in case they're going, oh, he's lost, he's lost. No, he hasn't lost. Destruction of the... Yes, exactly, Dot. That's what we've all been saying. It's destruction. This plait here, I put plaits in because my white's coming through and I thought it might just... I don't know. Exactly. It's the destruction of the old guard. They've been in guard too long, if that's what you want to say. It's time for a change. It's the time for good things to happen. It's the time for us all to unite. Let's all just get on. Governments, royals, come on. Come on. It's, taking down of the old guard. If they have to be, if we have to have a monarchy, come on, swing it round for once. So yeah, the changing of the guard, the destruction of the old guard. Yes, that's what it is. So I just found that very interesting, and that was on ITV's news just now. I've just watched it, so I thought, I'll just report on that. I feel like doing this again. Sitting in saying the dinner time news today is Prince Charles. Hi, I just keep these sunglasses actually. These sunglasses on, they just see through. So I feel like being a newsreader, should they be more like that? So yes, that's what's happening in the UK today. I'll just put my posh voice on and I shall be a reporter. So that is what's happening in the UK. The UK news at lunchtime. Yes. So I don't know if anyone's with me with that, with the Prince Charles thing, but I'm thinking yes, the bring down of the old guard. Let's go. So I think Sunday is going to be a beautiful, fantastic day because we were just talking about that, and it's the 100th, right? This is what I'm going to say. The 100th, thank you, the 100th anniversary, if nobody doesn't know, of the First World War. Now, what I think this signifies, people, is, yes, that's interesting. It's very interesting. I said it was very unusual. What in my head, what's going on here is Trump's going to France to celebrate this monument event because it's 100th one, okay? And also, to me, it means there's lots of world leaders going there to celebrate because they're not having it in America like the parade. So to me, it's celebrating. Are you ready? Yeah. The end of all wars. It was the 100th year of the First World War. So to me, with what's going on, what we know what's going on behind the scenes, it's going to signify the end of all world wars. We might still be taking some bits down somewhere, but it's the end. It is the end. It has been far too long. People are dying from all over different countries, all over the world. Children, civilians, soldiers getting traumatised and killed for man-made wars, as we know. So it's got to stop. So this is, to me, a solitary candle. Did you use? That's what I think anyway. That's how I see it, as a signal, as a sign, as a what do you want to call it? That's what's happening. On Sunday, I'm going to be designing a picture for Sunday in my little way of I design with everything else I'm doing designing, but I am gonna design something for Sunday for the veterans, my little way to say thank you, because I'm not going to any parades. And I might try and sit and watch and talk about it while it's on, and maybe we can come on here and do a live 11 minutes past 11 minute of silence for maybe you. But I'm going to do something anyway in my own way, and I'm going to do a picture on it, and I will be celebrating that. So, and it will be nice, and it sounds awful, but because I've got my little one here, his dad's that it'll be nice and silent, as in I can remember in silence, not having and I can do things for that day and celebrate in my own way. And yes, I live in St. Pittsburgh, Moonbay. Oh, talking. So I don't know if anyone. Hang on a minute. I've got my little top on today. I don't know if anyone. I'm just watching the time. I don't know if anyone thinks that way, that I'm sort of seeing that as in the the whole parade thing. 100 years. That's like big thing. We've got the Kim Jong Un. That was a 70-year thing that Trump sorted out. And 100 years ago on Sunday, the First World War. So now it's 100 years to stop. It's the end of all world wars. We don't need them. We don't need them. We can trade in different ways. And then ones who are trading in different stuff can just get to Gitmo and the rest of the stuff, can't they? Yeah, see Santa Claus of the United States, Twitter. Yeah, I've not been over there, but I know, I saying it's JFK Jr. Whoop, whoop. Even stronger messages, yeah, I will have a look after, appearing very soon. Will be Sessions replacement next POTUS. Yeah, solitary, I'm travelling. Yeah, so that's what I believe. That's how I see it. It's a big signal for the end of, a big celebration. Big celebration. So I'm gonna have to do a good picture. I'm gonna try and draw like maybe a veteran, an old veteran, and a younger one. And I don't know. I'm gonna design something. Not very good at drawing men, and mind you, men and women. I could do women as well. Obviously, it's not just men, is it? So I'll do something. On a road trip, but that's just how I see it. I remember what Trump said, and seen as what's his face as can't get in the White House anymore. Thank God, sit down and shut up. He did say, "Don't worry, I'm coming back because it's a big event." Big event. There's a lot of big events going on in November. That's why it's going to be an absolutely fantastic Christmas. But God bless the ones who, with the Calibar thing. But like Russia said, we do believe if when things start hitting the fan, that they'll probably start saying there's a massive gas attack in Syria. So we'll watch out for that one. We'll watch out for the Calibar, what they're going to say. The borderline bar? What they're going to say this person's motive was. So we'll just see there. But if it's a Republican area, maybe they'll say it's a Democrat for a change, because that would be true, wouldn't it? So we'll see. We'll see. Eyes and ears open, people. Like it said in a Q drop, keep your head swiveling and looking around, because, the end of the beginning. Yeah, exactly. We've got the end of like we said, the old guard, the end of world wars, and the end of the beginning, because we've got a new beginning for a new world. Not a new world order, a new world where we can all work together. We can all be neighbours, we can all trade. We don't, we don't have to be in the EU, we won't be in the EU. The Brexit thing, we voted, we're out, we voted, the people voted, so you can do one. We can still be friends with countries and trade. They were just using it for their benefits, not our benefits, not the world's people's benefits. CNN called them racist, bigot, genocide. Manic Trump finally tells one to leave. Exactly. So they call him Manic Trump. Exactly. It was all to, if you think about it, he just lets them dig a hole deeper. That's what I said the other day. He did that thing to that woman, if anyone didn't see it. He pushed her arm down. They cut that out on Sky News, I think. He pushed her arm down. I'll just find it now. He pushed her arm down. And so therefore he's not allowed back in the White House, because he doesn't sit down, and he was being a little bit abusive because he shouldn't have pushed her arm down. It's a White House microphone. He had his, he had his time to speak. He got told to sit down basically and shut up, and he didn't, did he? Who's in hospital? So, you're not allowed, you've got your pass taken off you, so that's your own fault. You got told and you didn't listen. That, what's it called, Acosta? So here it is. He went like that on an arm. I think that was James Woods or whatever his name is. So yeah. So you can get out. You didn't do as you're told. I know. Well, I was saying to my dad today, I said, how Trump's kept calm, like I said last night, how he's kept calm. Yeah, he did deserve to be told to shut up. How he's kept calm with all the stuff he knows, all the stuff he's gone for, that how many rallies a day has he been doing? Everyone's like, there he looks knackered. Well, wouldn't you? Like 2 rallies a day, 4 rallies a day, all the information he knows about what he's going for. I would have broke ages ago and just gone, like shouted my head off. But he's let them go on because they're catching themselves out. Lost a stone in my necklace. So yeah, and I'm really trying hard not to dye my hair because it's coming through now you can't really see, and I really like this golden brown colour. I'm like, oh, don't colour it. Me greys. I'm gonna have to buy a really cheap salt and pepper wig just to put on to see what it looks like, because all these are coming in. Not that there's loads, but you know. Supreme Court at Beijing Hospital. Fall, fractured 3 ribs, boom. Well, I think there's lots of things going on round about, like I've just reported on the news over here about Prince Charles saying that's interesting, hopefully. You know, that's good, in a way. The left has a double standard. Oh, yes, the left has, like, triple standards, don't they? The fifth world, I'm on the East Coast. But I just wanted to come and report to you and let you know about that, because I just thought it was quite interesting. Seasons are changing outside. The leaves are falling off the trees. Things are changing. The right time to change when the seasons are changing right now for a difference. So, yeah. It's like, cheers. Got no alcohol in. So, I will be with you tomorrow. I was thinking I'll have a day off. I will be with you tomorrow with Artin, which I'm going to call... I'll keep it to what I used to call it. Follow Your Art, which this is a picture I did ages ago. It's funny enough, she's got red hair. Red Wave coming ages ago. Follow Your Art. It was on Canvas, so I will be doing that tomorrow. Also, someone commented in one of my comments yesterday, which I found quite funny, is, I got the number 1111, which the number, my pin thing that I had to chuck away, them pin things that you have to chuck away, they just get you into what you're going on. And they sent me 1111 because what's happening on, well, we've got the 11th of the 11th, Remembrance Day, which was it also is the number meaning, numerology and all that, the Great Awakening, the Awakening, or resurrection or something. Awakening. Someone commented on my video yesterday when I was in the kitchen. It lasted 11 minutes, 0.11 seconds, 11:11. No coincidence there. This person said yes, I know. Yes, 11:11. So, and it is the Great Awakening, 11:11. And we said this, it's 11:11 on Sunday, but also this month is a Great Awakening, as we know, with the 22nd and the 25th. So, and everything else that's going on. So it's just great. So, so yeah, it's getting interesting. So that's the only reason I watch the news, because like I said, I don't watch the news, but I thought I need to watch it to just see what they're spinning or what they're saying. So I found that really brilliant. So that was just that was good. So yeah, what are we being awakened to? The stuff I was saying yesterday. We're being awakened to the Great Awakening, the old deceptions of all time, the history's lies, about the wars and Hitler and secret Antarctica, lost civilizations, you name it, space, you name it, everything. Governments, institutions, like I said, there's so much stuff. It's not just all about that, about the kid, everything. The Great Awakening, the deceptions of the years gone by, because we're coming into the age of Aquarius or whatever, and that's for the veil to be lifted, which it is being lifted because it needed to. People were falling asleep, getting, content with certain stuff we needed to see to stop this evil in the world, if you like to say, and You know, like it was said in Q Post, transparency we need, not opaque. We need transparency in everything. I'd love to see what's in the Vatican. Yeah, we've talked about the Vatican vaults because we know the stuff down there, as well as some horrible stuff that goes on in the Vatican. There's the Vatican vaults. What's down there? Have they got the giants' um, bones? Have they got the old scriptures of certain stuff that we're supposed to know? But they tried. You know, I think people took this, like I said years ago, from Alexandra's library to protect them, and then people got in, and then they've used it for their knowing and not the masses. So, but I've talked about all that stuff, even if some people don't believe in it. You know, that's what some of the stuff's about as well. It's like everything you can ever think of. So it's just mad. Yeah, I always say Orgonite and Chakra necklace, my favourite. Yeah, you want to go over to his channel because he's got some beautiful jewellery with copper and crystals and I'm assuming Orgonite stuff in the jewellery. Looks very beautiful. So Don Lemon needs to be fired. So like I said, there's lots of mad things going on. So it's not just the great, people think it's just the awakening to certain people in governments and this, that and the other and MPs and no, it's massive, like I said, tip of the iceberg, people. So yeah, I just thought I'd come and report that little bit because that's the only reason I will watch the news is just to sort of keep an eye on what they're saying. But what they've just said about Prince Charles and Prince Charles saying it, I think a lot and care about my grandchildren and your grandchildren. I think about it a lot. And this, when I become king, because he doesn't normally talk about this, it's going to be a job done differently. That makes a change for a change, doesn't it? Because we've had enough of her reign. So turn it around, the monarchy. Turn it around. Though we know, just turn it around. So I'm going to go because I've got to go on school runs and stuff. The country shooting was in California in a bar called, was it Borderline or something? Was it a country western bar or something? So we're just waiting to hear like what they're gonna come up with, like what was behind it and who he was, because the last one, you know, or even the pipe bombings and that, it was all like, oh, it's a Trump supporter, found out he was a Democrat. So sterling silver, orgonite, copper if you want a copper spiral. I use copper for the orgonite base and only use real gemstones and crystals. Exactly, so check his channel out because it's good. I was just about to get my big crystal with the copper on it and turn around and it's not even in there, so yeah, we love some crystals. So yeah, just check that out on the news. It might obviously be repeated later on, so I just watched that. New moon, oh yes, we need a new moon, a new earth, which I was just watching Independence Day from 2016, not the one with Will Smith in. That was quite interesting. They were going on about, oh, the aliens are taking us to a new earth, and we're like, no, we're staying here, and they were getting them and throwing them out in space like spaced rubbish. I was watching that one, and a guy in it was called, oh, what was he called? Because I'm sure it's one of the Kennedys' names. It was interesting. So, so I'm gonna go now because I've got to go. But yeah, just keep have a look at the news that he said. I don't normally watch, but I just thought, my ears pricked up when Prince Charles started talking. So I thought that's interesting because he said it was highly unusual. He never talks about stuff like that in the monarchy, but he has, because I do believe someone might have had a word and said, sort your country out. But like I said, great weekend. I will be designing some sort of a picture for Remembrance Day. For veterans, not only here but all around the world, men and women, and all the people who've fallen, as in civilians and soldiers in all countries around the world. But tonight I'm just going to chill out and I'm just going to get on with my, the down the rabbit hole bunny that I was doing, so I can show you tomorrow because I've not done much on it, while designing my bags and other stuff. And so I will see you tomorrow. Trump will get another Supreme Court justice pick. Oh yeah, he's just doing, he's won Senate. So where we go one, we go all. Love to you all, and I'll see you soon. Bye. If I can get off.